benefits. Get up to $2 million in coverage for as little as $2 a day. All online with no medical exam. Just answer a few health questions. Get your free quote at ethos.com/life. That's ethos.com/life. Rates may vary. Billed monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Hey, shh. Calm down. The show is about to start. Reese on the Radio. Turn it up. Turn it up loud. Turn it up loud.
It's like a dream come true.
Turn on your radio. Reese is on the radio.
Yo, let's get it.
Due to the nature of this program, discretion does not exist. It's Reese on the Radio. Right now on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Yeah, let's go. What's going on, all you scallywags and nutmeggers out there? You know what time it is. Reese on the Radio on WTIC News Talk 1080. Got plenty of news and plenty of views to get at. And, of course, your phone calls later on in the program at 860-522-9842. That's 860-522-WTIC. I'm going to do something a little different. I tried to do it yesterday, but I forgot about it because anytime I try something new, I might forget about it. But I'm going to try it new today. Little bit of sort of blending of two things on the show. I hope that you either don't notice it, or if you do, you like it. And we'll do that during the show. We got what are called benchmarks on the program. You know them as Hollywood news, stupidest thing I read today. You know, what had happened was, these are benchmarks. That's what we call them. How the sausage is made behind the scenes. We'll get into that as well. Another one, of course, is the opening monologue. And I call it that. Most people don't even tell you it's an opening monologue. They just do it. But I like the reference. And today, I've got to talk about a national local story. Now, again, all stories are local. They just become national. They become sort of a dialogue with Americans based upon a story at some, local place. Michael Brown, Ferguson. Everybody was talking about it. Trayvon Martin, Sanford, Florida. Everybody's talking about it. So every story is local, just becomes a national phenomenon. And this one in particular, nothing like Michael Brown and Trayvon Martin, by the way. This one's an immigration one. And I'm trying to figure this out, folks. How could Democrats be fighting for something that was never there? William Tong, Justin Elliker, Representative Jillian Gilchrist. How could they be fighting for something that didn't exist? We were told that nowhere, no how were illegals getting government benefits. Everywhere.
And under current law, undocumented immigrants are already ineligible for Medicaid, the ACA exchanges, and for SNAP benefits. Not a single undocumented immigrant in this country gets a dime in federal taxpayer dollars for any part of comprehensive Medicaid coverage. Not one.
So what is William Tong suing the Trump administration for? Somebody want to explain that to me? How about William Tong? How about Representative Gilchrist? How about Justin Elliker? Anybody want to explain to me how you're suing the Trump administration about something you said wasn't happening? How about a viral moment from CNN between Scott Jennings and Representative Richie Torres, who told us that it was an absolute lie that the Trump administration's one big beautiful bill was cutting Medicaid payments to illegals. Richie Torres says that's not true. It's a lie. No illegal is getting any of that money.
I don't think it's unpopular at all to try to reform an entitlement program, to save it for the people who need it, to keep illegal aliens from getting welfare benefits they shouldn't be getting, to encourage people to go to work. I don't think these things should be shied away from by Republicans.
None of that is true. First of all, I think Medicaid
It's exactly true.
Medicaid
It's exactly what's in the bill.
Federal law prohibits undocumented immigrants
Then why are
from receiving
1.4
Medicaid
million
benefits.
on it? Why are
That's a
1.4
figment of your
million?
imagination.
It's a figment of the CBO's documents.
Let me explain the facts.
It's in the CBO documents.
I'll explain the facts.
Is it or not?
Let me explain. It's not, actually.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. So we get the one big beautiful bill to get passed, and now all of a sudden, William Tong and many others across the country are fighting for something they told us wasn't happening? That seems weird. Here's Mayor Justin Elliker.
The reality is that our residents are under attack, and the Trump administration is mischaracterizing and demonizing our residents, trying to end birthright citizenship, deploying ICE to conduct raids and inhumane and often illegal enforcement actions while masked and unidentified, creating just terror among good, hardworking people in our community, conducting deplorable acts of family separation. We've seen these in our local community, in our own, in the news in our neighborhoods, and attempting to withhold critical funds for education, for environmental issues, for public safety, you name it. It's wrong, it's disgraceful. What kind of person chooses to take away education funding from children that are in our community? What kind of person chooses to take away health care funding from children and families in our community? What kind of person wants to make immigrants so afraid that they can't even call the police to report a crime? In New Haven, we do things differently.
Yes, we break the law. That's what we do in New Haven. We do things differently. We tell everybody that this isn't happening, and then when the bill passes, we tell them that it was wrong for them to do the thing they said that we weren't doing. What's the deal? Let's go to Jillian Gilchrist of West Hartford. Remember, they're not on the rolls, Hakeem told us, the leader of the Democrat Party.
And under current law, undocumented immigrants are already ineligible for Medicaid, the ACA exchanges, and for SNAP benefits. Not a single undocumented immigrant in this country gets a dime in federal taxpayer dollars for any part of comprehensive Medicaid coverage.
So why are they going after Donald Trump? Why are they going after Donald Trump? If they want to give their local dollars to it, right? They could do that. But they're saying not one dime. Here's Jillian Gilchrist of West Hartford.
We are here again to combat what has become the playbook of this second Trump administration, which is to violate federal law and demonize people. And I am so grateful to our Attorney General, who continues to push back on this administration every single time they violate the law.
What's the law? What's the law, Representative Gilchrist? What's the law? Hakeem Jeffries tells us that not one person is on ACA. That's the Affordable Care Act. We know it as Obama don't care. Huh? What about the SNAP program? Huh? Justin Elliker is talking about the SNAP program, federal program. I thought nobody was on it, according to the Democrat leader, Hakeem Jeffries. How is the Trump administration breaking federal law that Hakeem Jeffries says is the law? That nobody's supposed to be on it who is undocumented, or as we like to call them, illegal in the country. What are you suing about? She went on.
And to just see the Trump administration demonizing an entire group of people, a group of people who just want to get health care.
On our dime. They just want to get health care. He's demonizing them. I'm not exactly sure what the demonization is. I wish somebody can explain it to me. Representative Gilchrist, by the way, you can call anytime, whenever. I could be in the middle of something. I could be on the phone with my mama. You can call up here anytime and explain it to me, if you got the guts. But we know you don't. But you got to explain to me exactly how they're being demonized by the federal government enforcing something your Democrat leader said wasn't happening.
For their children and themselves. Something that has continued to stay with me.
Oh, I'm sure it stays with you every night. Do you sleep well? It must be daunting.
As co-chair of the Human Services Committee is an individual who testified before our committee about the importance of having access to health care as someone who is undocumented. And they explained that they never thought they wouldn't have access to health care coming to this country.
Yeah, of course not, right? For years and years and years, we have been a staple of providing health care to illegals for them never to have to pitch in. Isn't that the case, Representative Gilchrist? Right? What do you possibly think? Every one of those people were saying, I never thought that the United States didn't provide free health care for illegals. Really? Nobody saw Michael Moore's movie Sicko. No one even saw the major debate back in 2009 under the Obama administration for the passage of the Affordable Care Act. You know, Obama Don't Care Act. Huh? Do you think everybody missed that? Everyone was under the impression that if they just came to the United States, they could just get health care, they can get health insurance, or they would have their health care provided for by the American citizens. Never once did they think that, with all the debates about this. With Bernie Sanders running around talking about free health care for everybody and everyone, whenever we get it. Huh? That's the thing nobody ever thought. Come on, folks. Come on. Don't you understand that the big problem here is that you are talking about literally luring people into our country illegally by telling them that you will fight tooth and nail to take taxpayer dollars to provide them with the affordable health care that won't be affordable for us, but obviously free of charge for them, to get SNAP programs, food, dollars into their pockets. The day that they walk in, no sweat equity to speak of. The moment they touch ground, touchdown, here's a couple $1,000. Here's housing. A job, if you can find one, but don't worry, if you can't, we've still got you covered. You don't think that putting an end to this program probably keeps people from traveling the distance that would be equal to New York to Nevada to come into this country illegally, that it would probably thwart that effort? Do you think one of these programs or two of these programs, all of the programs snatched from these people who have no skin in the game would possibly get those benefits to people who really need them, who are really struggling in the state of Connecticut? Where's the concern for them? In fact, I've heard none. Representative Gilchrist, if you ever want to come on the program and one of your cohorts or your lackeys, or perhaps some illegal who's washing your dishes, should they happen to listen to this show, please tell Representative Gilchrist, she has an open invitation to be on this program. Justin Elliker, I reach out to your people all the time, and I keep getting pushback. Well, he's busy at this time. He's not available. He can't really come on right now, Reese, but thanks for asking. I don't need none of you, by the way. I need none of you to be on the program. Because what's going to happen is you're going to get him here and you're going to say, well, can I speak? Can I speak? Can I keep telling everybody the BS that I usually tell everybody in a press conference, in the newspapers? Come on, can I speak? Can I speak? And the answer is no, you cannot speak. You answer my question or you leave. That's the reason why you don't want to come on the show. Because you're not going to be able to hit a filibuster and give everybody a bunch of bull crap. But the invitation still stands. I don't need you, but the invitation still stands. Because I just want you to answer for time. I just want to play your nonsense. And I want to play the nonsense of your party and then have you answer it. That's the problem. Here and everywhere else. Everybody gets to go on all of these ridiculous, stupid little pat you on the behind programs where they allow you to say the most outlandish stuff without any facts and without any pushback. And then your lackeys, your useful idiots, your complete morons repeat it anywhere and everywhere else. So again, I ask, please, somebody explain to me. You told us before the big, beautiful bill was signed that Republicans were lying to us, that there was anyone illegal on those rolls. And now you're filing lawsuits to keep them on the thing you said they were never on. And where's the pushback from the press? Where's the news media asking the questions? Wait a minute. I thought you folks said that nobody who was illegal was on this stuff. What are you fighting for exactly? What law did the president break? And if I remember correctly, didn't the president sign the one big beautiful bill? Wouldn't that make it the law of the land? He went through the proper channels. He went through the House and the Senate, and back to the House and then back to the Senate. Then he went back to the House and maybe went to the Senate again. How many times did this go back and forth before it ended up on the president's desk? But it's signed, and it's the law of the land. He went through the process. Changes, revisions, the whole 9 yards. What are you talking about? Donald Trump is breaking the law. I can't wait to see this case go somewhere. I know it's nothing. Look, don't get me wrong, folks. I don't want you to think that I think that William Tong is ever going to go forward with any of this stuff without being embarrassed. And once he is, no one's going to cover it in the news media. Not one person is going to bring up the fact that this lawsuit fell flat on its face. No one will do any follow-up. If you need any proof of that, ask William Tong how that civil rights complaint against the Coscob school is going. This guy's nothing more than a press release. He's not an attorney general. This guy's looking for shine. But again, like I said, all invited. All invited. But we know they never will. When we come back, we'll get to some phones. I know people got a lot to say about this, but if you do, we'll take the calls afterwards, after we take a break. The number is 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. I just want to play let's play Jillian Gilchrist one more time.
We are here again to combat what has become the playbook of this second Trump administration, which is to violate federal law and demonize people.
Jillian, did he call them names? Is that what this lawsuit is about? To demonize people? You guys got a lot of nerve, by the way, using that term, demonizing people. Got a lot of nerve.
And I am so grateful to our Attorney General, who continues to push back on this administration.
With press conferences and nothing else.
Every single time they violate the law.
Sounds like William Tong's got way too much time on his hands. He's got way too much time on his hands. He's running around filing lawsuits against the president of the United States so he gets some press time.
And to just see the Trump administration demonizing an entire group of people, a group of people who just want to get health care.
And want to wash your dishes and pick your crops and clean your toilets. Just some people who want to do the slave labor here.
For their children and themselves. Something that has continued to stay with me as co-chair of the Human Services Committee is an individual who testified before our committee.
Can't remember their name. We'll take a break. More news, more views. Your phone call soon. It's Reese on the Radio on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Looking for better propane savings and services for your home? Go with Petro. Switch now and get up to $500 free propane. Petro has affordable prices, no hidden delivery surcharge fees, reliable delivery in any weather, and live 24/7 service. For all the propane services you need to power your home all year round, go with your local propane pros. Go with Petro. Go to petro.com now to get up to $500 free propane or call 877-399-8395 today. Propane not available in all areas.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius or two half geniuses and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-949-1441. That's 800-949-1441. 800-949-1441.
And now, a WTIC news update.
78 degrees at 2:30. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. High around 80 this afternoon, low around 60 tonight. A heat advisory now in effect through Friday night. A large brush fire has closed Derby Ave in West Haven between Forest Road and Plainville Ave. Drivers are being asked to avoid that area. Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson is shutting the chamber down for the summer. It's an attempt to avoid votes pushed by Democrats and some Republicans to force the release of the Epstein files. In a photo op with the leader of the Philippines, President Trump denied knowledge of the DOJ's request to re-interview Ghislaine Maxwell. She's Jeffrey Epstein's accomplice in child rape, who is in prison. The president then tried to deflect attention to his claims former President Obama conspired against him.
He said, here's what you actually should be focused on. And he sort of launched into this broadside of President Obama. And the reason that that juxtaposition is important is because the president's opponents have been arguing that he's doing all kinds of things to try to distract from a storyline that has not been great for him.
CBS's Nancy Cordes reporting. In a special report on the impact of the budget bill recently signed by the president, State Comptroller Sean Scanlon says up to 200,000 Connecticut residents will lose their health insurance, and many of those who maintain their insurance will see rates rise. The federal bill does not extend advance premium tax credits, so that will mean a 75% premium increase for 100,000 people on the Access Health Connecticut exchange. Firefighters in Fall River, Mass. say they lack the number of personnel needed to save more people in last week's fire that killed 10 at an assisted living facility. Now Governor Maura Healey is announcing new state support.
$1.2 million in state funding available for Fall River to hire more emergency response personnel.
She's also looking at emergency response across the state. Plainfield police are looking for 2 drivers who fled the scene of a crash last night. They say a car driven by 18-year-old Connor Doyle sideswiped a car parked in the shoulder and operated by 23-year-old Austin James. Both drivers took off before police got there. WTIC forecast.
For the rest of our Tuesday afternoon, sun, some clouds, a pleasant day with low humidity and the high of 81. Partly cloudy tonight, another comfortable night for sleeping with the low down to 56. Sunshine, a few clouds for our Wednesday, a bit warmer with the heat starting to build, the high of 85. Thursday, partly sunny, hot and more humid with the high moving up to 94. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
78 degrees now. The Dow is up 104. S&P is up marginally. The NASDAQ is down 80 points. Sports, Red Sox and Phillies with a pregame just after 6 on WTIC. Yankees in Toronto. The Mets host the Angels. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Maker, WTIC 1080 News.
Join us for the first annual Go Tacos Tequila and Taps Festival at Duncan Park, July 24th through the 26th. Presented by the Hartford Yard-Goats.
Just lost Ozzy.
More than 20 brands of tequila and dozens of craft beers, wines, and spirits. For ticket info, visit GoTacosTequilaTaps.com.
The following is a paid commercial advertisement.
From the Wall Street Sweeper Money Desk, Russ Hackman is president of Hackman Wealth Partners and author of the book, Wall Street is Not Your Friend. Russ, how can we survive this rocky year that is 2025 with our finances intact?
Dave, it's about having the right plan that's built for a volatile future, one that can stand up to big market shocks, produce consistent cash flow, and maintain your sanity in the years ahead. Give us a call for a second opinion on your plan.
Second opinion, initial review, no cost, no obligation, 860-321-6800, 860-321-6800, 860-321-6800. Russ's book, Wall Street is Not Your Friend, is available on Amazon and at HackmanWealth.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Capital Management, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Discussion of safe and secure products and guaranteed income streams refer only to fixed insurance products and are subject to the claims-paying ability of the insurance company.
The Wall Street Sweeper with Russ Hackman, Sunday mornings at 9:30 on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/deal. That's leaffilter.com/deal.
Hey, Matt Soroyce here. If you're feeling sluggish and wondering how to get out of that summer funk of feeling like you have no energy, maybe the clothes that fit last summer are a little more snug right now, listen, there's a simple solution for you. Awaken 180 Weight Loss is more than just a weight loss program. It is a partnership. And that's because the amazing coaches at Awaken 180 are with you every single step of the way, ensuring that you're dropping pounds every week until you reach your ideal goal weight. With Awaken 180, you're not getting any expensive injections. You're not taking 3 to 5 pills a day. You're simply eating real great food. Awaken 180 is the long-term solution for weight loss, and it's not just a weight loss. Your head's going to be clearer, your body will be healthier, and you'll certainly have more energy. Awaken 180 has helped over 25,000 people lose weight for good, and they can help you too. So give them a call today and make this summer the one where you feel your absolute best. Set up your free consultation today at 844-346-1800, 844-346-1800, or go online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated.
Terms apply.
Low testosterone affects many men today, even men as young as 30. But finding someone you can trust for quality low T treatment isn't so easy. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, a Promedic restorative health practice, and that's why I'm pleased to announce the opening of our newest location of Northeast Men's Health right here in Warwick. As a Promedic affiliate, Northeast Men's Health has the experience and expertise to get you the right treatment for your particular medical situation. At Northeast Men's Health, we're experts in treating low testosterone. In fact, we've successfully treated thousands of men for low T and have seen the amazing impacts low T treatments have. If you're like most men, you'll sleep better, have more energy and improve mental clarity, get better gains in the gym, and your sex drive will likely improve as well. So call us. Just $99 gets you a PSA and T test and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956. Or go to Northeast Men's.
My bad, here we go.
We have
Got
6
it.
offices across the Northeast to
We're
serve
good.
you.
Happy birthday.
Got my spoon.
100 years of serving Connecticut.
We're back. Reese on the Radio, News Talk 1080. And I'm just looking at these comments inside the chat room from Bob J. This is I'll get into this. I'm going to get into it later. I don't want to lose track of this. But Bob J, great. Thank you for all of that commentary. Nothing makes me laugh harder than some of the stuff that you write. It's laughable, but we'll get into that in a second. Also, I want to say is if learning about Malcolm Jamal Warner yesterday's his passing yesterday in Costa Rica weren't bad enough. Today, we also have sad news that Ozzy Osbourne, of course, famed, celebrity, icon, lead singer of Black Sabbath, just finished his farewell tour, has passed away. It was just announced by TMZ that he died at home. Let me read a statement by his family. They said, "It is with more sadness than mere words can convey that we have to report that our beloved Ozzy Osbourne has passed away this morning. He was with his family and surrounded by love. We ask everyone to respect our family privacy at this time." Signed, Sharon, Jack, Kelly, Amy, and Lewis. And it is sad. I cannot believe that it's just like literally a day removed from Malcolm Jamal Warner, and now we're, mourning the passing of Ozzy Osbourne. I'm going to talk more to the guys, Mark Christopher and, of course, Jason Caterina. They're more in that realm because I know Jason Caterina is into punk. So I'm assuming that in some way he may have been a Black Sabbath fan. I can only imagine. And Mark Christopher, without a doubt, has probably got something to say about that. So we'll get to them roughly about maybe the top of the hour to 4 o'clock hour, get both of them to say something about their relationships. I think I know about Ozzy Osbourne more as an iconic musical figure. I was not a Black Sabbath fan or listener of their music. I'm familiar with their music, but I'm sure those guys have much more context to bring to that. And if you were a big Black Sabbath fan or Ozzy Osbourne fan, of course, if you wish to say something about his passing, you certainly can here on the program. Speaking of which, let's get to the phones. 860-522-WTIC. Jim's in Wellington. How are you, sir?
Yes, sir. Ozzy Osbourne, that's a shocker. Well, maybe not. But let's stick to the subject. Let's stick to the subject you were talking about.
Yeah.
You were before the break. You were talking about benefits that the
illegals
aren't getting, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You have to define the word person whenever you hear a Democratic Party politician talk about the people that aren't American citizens.
That's right.
It's funny how in the vernacular of the left, you'll hear words like access. You'll hear words like honorable access. All these words that they cannot compassion. They can't come up with any of these words when it comes to talking about the American citizen who
Right.
they continue to not represent.
And that's you know what? It's a perfect example of what you're hearing Justin Elliker talk about. Remember, according to the CBO, 1.4 million illegals are on Medicaid rolls. The question must be asked, as far as this lawsuit, this press conference that took place yesterday, the question must be asked, what denomination or what fraction of that 1.4 million is Justin Ellicker, William Tong, and Julian Gilchrist talking about when they are suing the federal government to protect? Are we talking about 100,000 illegals in the state that are getting these benefits, or is it 40 people? What are they going?
Well, I'll tell you what, you can certainly ask that question, but the number is not hard. For the state of Connecticut. The number would not be hard to find.
Exactly.
That's a very easy number to find, and you'll never hear Tong or anybody find it. They're never going to find that number.
Exactly.
They're not going to find it, and you know why, and I know why.
Well, yeah, because it would show exactly, one, how insignificant it is, but I would think it would reveal something even far worse, Jim, and that is people would be exposed to the fact that these guys are filing federal lawsuits for what can only be described as like a drop in the bucket. Where's everybody else?
If they break the law and then tell everybody else that everybody else is breaking the law, and they mention a law, they won't mention it all. They won't tell you what the law is.
Exactly.
You mentioned it before the break. And the last thing I'll say, which probably is connected in some far-fetched way, but can you imagine if we put a fee on every single dollar that went into Mexico from America, or went into El Salvador from America, or went into, and I'm not talking about trade tariffs. I'm talking about money exchange that's going back for whatever.
You're absolutely right. Look, everybody, there's a report, Jim, that says that illegals are only sending back 1/5 of their wages that they earn in the United States back to their home country, which, by the way, they applaud. It's actually a third of what they make, not a fifth, a third.
Yes. And let me end, and by the way, thanks for the time. And let me end with this. If Hildebrandt or our local politicians here in Connecticut, they don't like what's going on, come up with changing the law. Work hard to change the law instead of opening your mouth and misrepresenting what the law actually is.
Or provide the funds locally. How about this? Yes. If the federal government says that they can't be on SNAP programs or they can't be on ACA or any of those things, fine. Provide it locally and see whether or not Connecticut or nutmeggers would actually be opposed or for them having their tax dollars paid for the residents that they allow sanctuary for.
And the representatives in this state that have represented some of the unions in this state, specifically pension benefits, et cetera, they did that at the detriment of all the taxpayers in this state because of some of the sweetheart deals that have put this state in debt. And some of those representatives actually were part of the negotiations.
Yep.
So I don't want to hear Tong or anybody else talking to me about just whatever it is they want to talk about that just has no way, shape, or reason as to being true.
Indeed.
It just gets to be to the point where, I don't have to keep repeating myself on it.
You got it, Jim.
You know where we're going, so thanks for the time.
You got it, sir. Let's go to Pete in Plainville real quick. How are you, Pete?
Hey, what's happening?
What's up, buddy?
First off, two things. I want to thank you for letting me friend you on Facebook. I appreciate that.
No problem.
And as far as you were having a conversation yesterday with Miley Cyrus.
Oh yeah, we're talking about her singing.
Her live stuff is phenomenal.
Did
you get to watch the Saturday Night Live special for 50 year?
No.
They did a concert part of it on the Friday night. It's still available on Peacock, I'm pretty sure. And she did her live version. I can't think of the song that is right now, but it is amazing.
Was it Wrecking Ball? Was it like one of her big popular songs?
No. It was something brand new that's just recently come out that she did live on. It's like the first song of the
new album.
I'd say it's a new album, but I said if you go to Peacock for the to watch the
50th anniversary of Saturday Night Live. Yeah, I know exactly which one you're talking about. I only saw a couple of snippets online, but I didn't see the entire thing. I will go look it out. Look it up.
It's worth it just to hear her sing that.
All right, you got it.
I'm not a country fan.
I hear that. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you. Let's go. Let's see if we can get one more in here. Let's go to Fred in Middletown. How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm good. So I have a one-line rhyme about William Tong, and it's directed at a nameless Connecticut DJ. He knows who he is. If you say friend referring to William Tong, you're doing something wrong. Yeah. I got banned for from a show for referring to him as Attorney General Mao Zedong.
Somebody banned you for that?
Well, that and, a little bit more.
I'm
but
sure.
that was the nut of it.
Yeah, look, I always look at this guy as, and it's funny because I look at the CT report, Connecticut report every day, and it seems to be that's the focus of a lot of politicians in Connecticut. How can they get themselves mainstreamed? Like if they're on one of these national television programs, they're often promoted. It's like, hey, one of our guys was on Meet the Press, and I'm like, what's that even mean?
That's what he's all about, dude. I hear Chris Murphy on the BBC
I know.
And on Bloomberg. He's going global, dude, which is appropriate because he's globalist. Tong is just a straight up Marxist.
I know. Speaking of,
and then he's also, of course, a spotlight whore.
Yeah.
Don't
steal my thunder, but later on today, in the stupidest things I read today, my good friend Chris Murphy is in that. You're not going to believe this story either if you haven't heard about it. So I'm getting to that later.
All right.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Bye
Bye.
Listen, it needs to be said, as I've said over and over and over again, that if no one is going to push back on this rhetoric, on these press conferences, if no one shows up to them and asks the media, like if I'm sitting there at this press conference, let me explain to you what I would do. And for those of you out there, gumshoe journalists, people who want to be independent journalists, let me help you on a very, very good idea. And if the media is listening, don't be upset when this happens because it's important. When you show up at these press conferences and they come out and they give all of their speeches, let them finish with the speeches and say to the people, let's say it's William Tong, say to them, William Tong, what law did the president violate? Can you articulate that? And if they don't answer that question, turn to the media and ask them, why are you not asking questions at this press conference? Are you only here to be stenographers, or will there be a back and forth that your established media, why aren't you asking these questions? And get them to respond. And get them to respond to you on tape. Say that they're not here for that. Say that that's not our interest. Get them on tape. So that the next time you keep going and say, why is it that you guys are only here to record what they have to say and not ask questions? Just keep doing that until somebody asks questions. That's all. That's all you need to do. Watch how the sea change evolves. It'll happen. It'll happen. Let's take a break. We're going to come back. More news, more views. We'll take some more of your phone calls. And then I've got to get into the story with Donald Trump and Barack Obama. We'll break that down when we get back. Don't go anywhere. It's Reese on the Radio on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Did you ever come home on a hot day, open your door, and your air conditioner just doesn't feel right? That's a real summer bummer. Say, come on into Campbell. From a simple seasonal tune-up or an air conditioner repair to the installation of a much more cost-efficient cooling system, Campbell's got the cool tools. Veteran-owned and managed, Campbell Heating and Cooling. Visit CampbellCooling.com.
Campbell Cooling uses all major name brands, including American Standard and Mitsubishi heating and cooling equipment. Let our expert technicians cool your home this summer.
Keep WTIC News Talk 1080 with you all summer long for the information you need. Weather forecasts from Bob Cox help you plan your summertime activities. Taking a trip? Mark Christopher's traffic reports will get you there without the hassle. Plus, up-to-the-minute news reports twice an hour. No matter where you go, listen on the Odyssey app and stay informed with what's going on back in CT. Because when you're on vacation, we're not. WTIC News Talk 1080.
Hi, I'm Joe with SimpleSaleUSA.com, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 203-896-4000. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition, any price range, and more importantly, anywhere in Connecticut. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trash and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, because I love buying junk houses. I buy vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and even foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 203-896-4000. That's 203-896-4000. 203-896-4000.
Lanny went to college and huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
At California Psychics, we know that sometimes you can wake up thinking,
I don't know if I'm in the right career, or the right relationship.
but whatever your life dilemma, at California Psychics, we'll give you the guidance you need to feel certain about your life choices. And because we only connect you best, we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. California Psychics. Call 1-800-PREDICT today and get 20 minutes for just $20.
Listen to WTIC News Talk 1080 on the free Odyssey app. Download and like WTIC today for alerts on special programming.
Let's get to the phones real quick so we can start with headlines in the next hour. My buddy Mark in West Hartford is there. Where you going, sir?
Reese, you just inspired me. I never thought about it. Don't ask me why. I've had many emails sent and messages. Jillian Gilchrist will never respond to anything, but I just sent her an email, and I'm going to tag everybody else in town, every elected appointed official, that I want her to spearhead a crusade to make West Hartford a sanctuary city. If she's that so invested in the taking care of these undocumented illegal immigrants, let's see if she can walk the walk now. Because West Hartford, as much as liberal and woke as we are, that'd be a dagger into this.
Oh, absolutely.
Wannabe high foot. So I'm going to challenge her.
It's the
Go
NIMBY.
ahead. Let's make West Hartford a sanctuary city. Obviously, I guess I'm putting a couple of cuts in myself at the same time if they ever did it, but they won't. So that's how confident I am.
It's the NIMBY city, man, like plenty of others.
Yeah.
It's never in my backyard. And that's what all of this nonsense is about. This piggybacking, if you will, on William Tong trying to get national attention. And again, I sat there this whole time watching these these sort of press conferences. And you know what I've noticed in Connecticut, which I find alarming, is that there are never any press releases in a timely fashion. Like no one's ever putting out a press release on Monday for an event happening on Wednesday. It's always 18 hours to 12 hours before the event's supposed to take. So no one knows about it and no one can change their plans to get there. So it's almost to keep people at bay.
I don't know what disturbs me more, that or absolutely no questions. Do you remember I just posted a few weeks ago? There's this accident in the lieutenant from Hartford, the public information officer. There's this accident. He hardly gave any details, and he goes, "Any questions? Okay, then." And then he turns around and walks away.
It's insane, right?
It was like if that told it all, and you can relate that scene. I should repost it. Go on, Mark from West Hartford. I'll repost it. Everybody was there. TNH, Fox, they were all there. FSB. Now, one of them go like, well, wait a second. Was he drunk? Did he have a license? Was the car insured? Nothing.
And I think, you know what the problem with that is, Mark? I'll tell you what it is. And you tell me, since you were there, I guess I can only ask this question to you, is were there cameramen there or were there reporters there?
Oh, no. There were reporters. So what happens is, you're right, though. Sometimes, and I've seen it, I've been in enough places, where you'll see the cameraman hold out the microphone at the same time.
Exactly.
No, these were reporters.
Okay. Because that's the one thing that I've noticed, and I've noticed it in an overwhelming way Unless it is a huge story, then they'll put a reporter on the beat. But generally, you will see these networks go, take a camera out there, and the cameraman will be holding his microphone or just putting it in a position, like at the little podium, and standing back and recording. And then, of course, there's nobody there to answer questions because the only thing they had is to get filler.
Well, do you remember, like, now I'll repost the one of me interviewing the only reporter that showed up for Blumenthal and Murphy in West Hartford.
Yeah.
He was doing that. And I asked him, I go, are you the only one here? We had a great conversation. I didn't bust his chops, but even he was surprised. He goes, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Like none of the other ones showed up, and he was there all, but he was a young kid. He looked like he's fresh out of high school.
Exactly. And especially we're talking about
he laughed. He laughed at it.
And we're talking about a media atmosphere where anything that's anti-Trump is worth putting a news reporter on. And an event like that where the two senators were joining forces to shout down what's happening under Trump's administration or new administration, one cameraman and one news network shows up. It boggles the mind. It boggles the mind.
I'm gonna repost those now, but let's see if Jillian, if you're listening, I know there's a couple of officials in West Hartford. Let's make West Hartford a sanctuary city.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Listen. Okay, take care now.
You got it. I don't think that. First of all, Mark is 100% right. If you make that proposal, they'll ignore it all day long. They don't care about that. They don't care about that. They care about the cameras. They care about the fact that the cameras are only going to record what they say, and then they're going to walk away and do nothing. That's all that is. So it's laughable. When we get back, listen closely. Donald Trump has called out Barack Obama. And regardless of what you heard in the sound bites from CBS News at the top of the hour, or was it the bottom of the hour? Regardless of how anyone wants to spin it, Donald Trump is calling out President Barack Obama. And it has been 4 days, and no one from President Barack Obama's office has responded to these allegations brought forth by Tulsi Gabbard, the Director of National Intelligence. Not one. Which should say something to you. And when we get back, I'm going to lay all of that out for you. And the Jeffrey Epstein twist in all of it. So don't go anywhere. Because people think that that's the big story. This Obama story is bigger than you think, and I'll explain. Was it Dave Mager? Yeah, Dave Mager's filling in for John Silva in the newsroom. Let's get to him in the WTIC newsroom.
WTIC is celebrating 100 years on the air and 100 years of serving Connecticut. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
78 degrees, 3 o'clock. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. High around 80, low around 60 tonight. A heat advisory is in effect through Friday night.
Mama, I'm coming home.
Ozzy Osbourne is dead. The heavy metal legend suffered from Parkinson's disease. Variety reports Osbourne performed just 2 weeks ago at the last concert for Black Sabbath in Birmingham, England. Ozzy Osbourne was 76. His family says he was with his family when he died. Republican Speaker Mike Johnson is sending members home early for the summer. He's trying to prevent a vote on whether to force the release of the Epstein files, something President Trump promised during his campaign.
There is a pending resolution, a bipartisan resolution on the part of Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie to call on the Attorney General to release those files within 30 days.
CBS's Nicole Killian. President Trump hosted the leader of the Philippines, Ferdinand Marcos Jr., claiming the nations have a new trade deal. During questioning, Trump denied knowledge of the DOJ's intention to talk again to Jeffrey Epstein's accomplice.
Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche says if Ghislaine Maxwell has information about anyone who committed crimes against underage girls, the FBI and the Department of Justice want to hear about it. By reaching out to Maxwell, the Justice Department is trying to cast itself as transparent following backlash from some of President Trump's political base. The base has been critical over the administration's earlier refusal to release additional records on the case. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
There's a major impact for Connecticut from the budget bill recently signed by the president. State Comptroller Sean Scanlon has released a special report on the bill. He says between 100,000 and 200,000 residents will lose their health insurance, and many will lose food assistance. Scanlon says it will be up to the special session later this year to figure out how much the state can fill the gap on many programs.
The choices that the governor and the legislature are going to have to make going forward are how much are we able to backfill for people who might lose their food assistance because of this bill, or who might lose their health insurance because of this bill, or have to pay their student loan back faster. These are decisions that they're going to be wrestling with this fall and beyond.
He says Connecticut defense contractors could benefit from military spending in the same bill. 2 bills dealing with maternal health have been signed into law by Governor Lamont. In Middletown, Lamont signed a measure calling for a plan to increase birthing hospitals and centers in areas with high Medicaid populations. State Public Health Commissioner Dr. Manisha Jutani.
What we're looking at today is helping people along that trajectory to the point of having a child, before and after. And these bills are really helping multiple state agencies do that work better.
The second bill creates a task force formed to look at gaps in maternal mental health services. State Republicans support both bills. Plainfield police are looking for 2 drivers that fled the scene of a crash last night. WTIC's John Silva has that.
Officers say they responded to Spalding Road on a report of a 2-vehicle crash just before 11 p.m. Monday. Vehicle driven by 18-year-old Connor Doyle sideswiped a second vehicle that was parked in the shoulder and being driven by 23-year-old Austin James. Police say both drivers fled the scene prior to their arrival, and they're still being sought. The 2 were identified by 4 occupants in one of the vehicles. They were treated at the scene for minor injuries. John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
On Wall Street, the Dow up 155, S&P climbing 8 points, NASDAQ down 52. And the WTIC forecast.
For the rest of our Tuesday afternoon, sun, some clouds, a beautiful day, pleasant with low humidity, the high of 81. Partly cloudy, another comfortable night tonight with the low dipping down to 56. Sunshine, a few clouds for Wednesday. The heat starting to build, the high of 85. Then Thursday, going to be partly sunny, hot, and more humid. The high jumping up to 94 as we head into Thursday, even hotter toward the weekend. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
78 degrees and a heat advisory now in effect through Friday night. Sports, Red Sox in Philadelphia with the pregame just after 6 p.m. on WTIC. Yankees in Toronto, the Mets host the Angels, and the Yard Goats are in New Hampshire. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Maker, WTIC 1080 News.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay, deep breath. You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm, totally natural.
Sweet! Thank you! Thank you! High five, everybody! High five!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five!
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25. New customers only. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T.
1 minute.
16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait 1 sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement, $999.99 and qualifying ported. For well-qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Payout via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Reese on the radio, making sense of the news. Yeah, even when it makes no sense at all. Now on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Yeah. No, that's wrong. I apologize. It's this one. Let's get to some headlines. That's right. You may have heard it at the top of the hour. The GOP-led Oversight Committee will seek a subpoena for the testimony of Ghislaine Maxwell about the Jeffrey Epstein case. Tim Burchett had requested that James Comer summon Maxwell to testify, so we will more than likely be getting a testimony from Ghislaine Maxwell. I don't know if it'll be in front of cameras or whether or not it'll be behind the scenes. I hope it is in front of cameras for everybody to see, shut down everything so we can get her on the record, bring her out there. And if she knows who's who and who's what and who did what, please get out there. So they got to make a negotiation with the Department of Justice and all the stuff to actually bring her out. I'm sure she's going to be asking for a plea deal in some sort of way. Say, hey, if I testify, I want this, that, and the third, which only cause more speculation. We expect the worst. Also, there is a report that for some odd reason is escaping me now, but I know the judge who is responding to Pam Bondi's request for release of files is asking for more information as to why they want these documents released. That just came over the wire about a moment ago. So we're waiting for that. Also, reports suggest that Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer have been reluctant to fully endorse Zohran Mamdani for mayor of New York because Jeffries believes that if Mamdani were to win, that Democrats will suffer during the midterm elections. So his hesitation is if he endorses him and actually brings Mamdani into the fold and he wins the election and become mayor of New York City, that then it will be used against Democrats. As I told you, they would be embracing his socialist/communist leanings. And that will be used as a cudgel in the midterms. And it would only, think about it, it would be the November election of 2025, the midterms a year later. They would have an entire year to link Democrats like Chuck Schumer, like Hakeem Jeffries, and anyone else for that matter who would celebrate the win of Mamdani to them in the midterms. And anybody else, they'd have to reject him in order to. So that's what the reports are. This is coming from Mark Halperin of Two-Way. Now, Jeffries' camp is denying this, but there are other people who have come forward and said that they were at the meeting where he suggested this. Also, a freelance journalist discovered on Sunday that the $100 million raised by two star-studded charity events for the Los Angeles fire has not reached its victims. The concerts organized by Fire Aid and featured Billie Eilish, Lady Gaga, Stevie Wonder, John Mayer, Green Day, and others drew rave reviews, but months later, fire victims say that they are still waiting for help and demanding to know where the money went. And this, according to a woman by the name of Susie Pasco, who's a reporter for Circling the News. She herself was a fire victim, and she uncovered that the Annenberg Foundation, tasked with distributing the money, has instead funneled the cash into a local nonprofit rather than directly to the survivors. That's according to a report out of the Daily Caller. And now it's time for the stupidest thing I read today.
Yes, you do. Stupid as can be. This could very well be the stupidest person on the face of the earth.
What's the stupidest headline I read today? Well, this one takes the cake. Chris Murphy, rakes in the early money. When he ran for re-election last fall, U.S. Senator Chris Murphy raised more than $15 million. He's already raised more than 2/3 of that amount for his next race. Can you believe that? For his next race, he's already brought in $10.3 million for the 6-month period beginning January 1st of this year. He raised $15.3 million for the 6-year period of January 1st, 2017 to December 31st of 2024. He's also raised $955,000 for a new leadership political action committee that formed this year, including $450,000 from a Murphy fundraising committee, which overall took in $1 million and about 80% in contributions of $200 or less. The deluge of dollars follows Murphy's high-profile opposition to Donald Trump's policies. He's a frequent figure on television and a frequent speaker on the Senate floor, while garnering the attention that that has raised speculation that he's running for the 2028 Democratic presidential nomination. Somebody gave this man $10 million. Well, at least a bunch of people gave him to. I don't know. But could this be a dark horse candidate? Is it possible that this is really? I don't know. And those are your headlines. Let's get to the phones. 860-522-WTIC. Hey, is this Ferris? No, it's not. My bad. Let's go to Tom in Thomaston. How are you, Tom?
Hey, I'm well. Hey, first question is Tom Mohanlon an AI-generated announcer, or is he a real announcer?
He is real. You know what? My wife said that, and now you're saying it, that he sounds AI-generated. I think that Tom O'Hanlon is so polished that you don't know if he's real or Memorex.
Yes, he sounds like every great speaker combined into one. His enunciation
is unflappable. Unflappable. He will. I hope, Roland, we need to put this bit.
That's his real voice. I talk
know,
to him all the time.
I know. He says that. I knew Roland would say that. That's his real voice. Do me a favor. Snippet this piece out for Tom O'Hanlon because he's going to love it. People say that about his voice. His voice is unflappable without a doubt, and he does it perfectly. So, anyway, Tom, what else you got?
Yeah, so I'm glad you brought up that Tulsi Gabbard this break. That's why I was calling in. But first, Reese, where does Mark get off yesterday saying that he's going to make sure you do your new segment right? or that
No.
Tom
Let me clear up. Let me clear up what he was talking about. Let me tell you what. So Mark,
I heard it.
No, I know you did. No, Mark. Let me tell you where it's coming from. So Mark draws this comparison that having somebody or a politician on regularly sort of clouds the judgment, if not the integrity of the show, because it's not an opportunity for that politician to get strong pushback if you have a broadcasting relationship with them. Now, I get where he's coming from with that, which is why I'm opposed to that, to doing that, because it does give the appearance that in the event you have to ask a tough question, you can't do it or else jeopardize said relationship. I get where he's coming from. Now, he's concerned that, and I know where he's coming from, and that's what I was trying to put that to bed, that somebody at the network is going to say to me, hey, Reese, you know what would be great? Have on Representative such and such once a week. No one would ever ask me to do that. Ever ask me to do that.
Reese, how come I know that?
Some people don't
know that.
Some people, no. Because they are, listen, I can't expect everybody to know what my intentions are or to know that I'm being virtuous in any way. I can't. I don't get mad at him if he's concerned about that. He doesn't want that to happen, so that's why he's expressing the concern. And I take that, whether it's warranted or not.
Reese, if he only called in once a year, I could see that. He knows what you're about. He's getting some power, and it's going to his head. Now, I agree philosophically with everything he says.
Right.
But like I told you a couple calls before, both him and Sampson got to put their egos away and work together. But
yeah, I know. I think 100%.
Never gonna happen.
No. Tom, let me say this. You are 100% right that there is a personal animus between them, and you know how that goes. I don't know if you've ever had that. I've never been that guy, in the sense of like in my later, it took me until I was like 45 years old before I stopped having that kind of personal animus with somebody. It did take me a while, but I had it. But it takes some time for you to not take the slight personally and understand that it might be professional. But that takes a lot of water under the bridge and a lot of time. So time takes time, and I appreciate where he's coming from on that, but time takes time.
Yeah.
That's all.
Right.
Thank you,
So,
buddy. I appreciate you nonetheless. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Last thing.
Tulsi Gabbard.
I haven't played it yet. I haven't gotten to that yet. I'm going to get to that in a minute.
What do you make of that? Because if it's true, that's very indicting.
Let's put it this way. Someone said to me yesterday, and I think it was Matty O. Matty O called me yesterday. He was talking about the statute of limitations. Well, I looked into that. He was right in the statute of limitations about when the event took place. But there is something else. There is a carve-out, and I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, that actually puts a lot of people in jeopardy and that nobody paid attention to. And when I looked into it, it turns out that it's very true that the statute of limitations are not up on the Russia conspiracy.
Good.
Yeah, so I'll talk about that in a little bit.
I'll be listening.
You got it, sir. All right, let's go to Sean, who's in Meriden. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Just on that, on a note of Tulsi Gabbard, which I thought was really, really interesting, is on the Sunday morning talk show, she said that there are whistleblowers coming forward now.
Right.
On the Obama situation.
Yes.
And one of the things that I noticed, and this was 4 years ago, when President Obama said he was going to be staying in Washington, D.C., and as an African-American man, an American who happens to be black, let me clarify that.
Fair enough.
Because I was never from Africa. So
go ahead.
But the deal is, I'm like, this is weird. And then I checked it, and no president ever, after their presidency, ever stayed in D.C. except President Obama.
And you know why?
His house is only like a mile and a half from the White House.
Why do you think that is? Just give me, because I can tell you.
Because of all his because he had to control his network that was left in the system.
And his legacy.
The swamp.
And his legacy.
Right. And his ego is there. And ironically, I got, this is not my point, but ironically, a tragedy comes up with the Obamas at the point that the information came out. Just like when Biden's known disability to run the country and wasn't running the country, when that got discovered, suddenly now the issue is his health.
And everybody,
the issue was his health.
It's so interesting that Obama folks were at the ready when Joe Biden stepped out. What's his name? David Plouffe. Is that his name? David Plouffe? Well, I know Plouffe. Was all of a sudden in the fold. The Obama bros were all of a sudden in the fold. Anita Dunn was in the fold. All of a sudden, all of these Obama acolytes were just all sitting around. Why was Jen Psaki, who worked for the State Department, all of a sudden announced as the press secretary for Joe Biden? So yes, Donald Trump had been ousted, but Barack Obama had all of his tentacles in the Biden White House, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
And my other point, and I'll end on this, is we got to focus too. What does this cost to the taxpayers? And for all the lies that you guys have done, it costs the taxpayers the money. It ain't coming out of your pocket. And we need to get that money back.
Tens of millions of dollars. That's a good point you're making.
Yes, exactly.
You got it. So thank you, Sean. I got to move on, sorry, but thank you. Yeah, it's a very, very valid point. All of them are valid points. And let me just do this real quick, okay? This is important, all right? Just listen real close. This was Donald Trump in the Oval Office meeting with, I think it was the president of the Philippines. Listen to this.
If you look at those papers, they have them stone cold, and it was President Obama. It wasn't lots of people all over the place. It was them too. But the leader of the gang was President Obama, Barack Hussein Obama. Have you heard of him? And except for the fact that he gets shielded by the press for his entire life, that's the one look, he's guilty. It's not a question, I like to say, let's give it time. It's there. He's guilty. This was treason. This was every word you can think of. They tried to steal the election. They tried to obfuscate the election. They did things that nobody's ever even imagined, even in other countries. You've seen some pretty rough countries. This man has seen some pretty rough countries, but you've never seen anything like it. And we have all of the documents. And from what Tulsi told me, she's got thousands of additional documents coming. So President Obama, it was his concept, his idea, but he also got it from crooked Hillary Clinton. Crooked is a $3 bill. Hillary Clinton and her group, the Democrats, spent $12 million to Christopher Steele to write up a report that was a total fake report. Took 2 years to figure that out, but it came out that it was a total fake report. It was made up fiction.
Now, everybody knows that the Steele dossier was made up fiction. You all know it. You lives in the chat room. You all know it to be true. The whole thing was a joke. It was a clown show. Major outlets wouldn't even report on it. They wouldn't even touch the story. In fact, just to make sure they muddied the water, they didn't drop the story until a month after the election. Donald Trump gave them credit for that in this Oval Office meeting.
The Steele report was a disaster. All lies, all fabrication. Admitted. And it was just like a bang of nothing because the election had ended. If that report had gotten published by the New York Times or somebody, and I respect the Times for maybe only this because they're crooked as you can be. They're a terrible paper, a crooked, corrupt paper. But for this one moment, they said, this is bullshit. We can't put this in.
Now, I love the fact that in the chat room, it's like he's just trying to change the narrative. I told you, stop talking, libs. Stop talking. You can convince yourself of anything you want to, but I said to you, name a time when Donald Trump said something and you guys said he was doing this, and then you ended up with egg on your face. 2016. Donald Trump stated on British TV that Britain would leave the EU, saying, I think that Britain will separate from the EU, especially in light of what happened with the craziness that's going on with immigration. Media's reaction? At the time, most experts in the media outlets predicted Brexit referendum would fail. With polls favoring Remain campaign, Trump's prediction was seen as contrarian. Outcome? The Brexit referendum passed in June of 2016 with 51.9% voting. U.S. presidential election. Trump repeatedly claimed that during his 2016 campaign that he would win the presidency despite widespread media skepticism. Media's reaction, numerous outlets and pundits dismissed his chances. They all said that he wouldn't win. That's right. They all said he wouldn't win. The housing market crash. In a 2006 audiobook, Trump stated, sort of hopes the housing bubble would burst, suggesting a potential economic downturn. Media reaction? The claim was not widely reported at the time, but when it surfaced by CNN in May of 2016, it was described as a vague pronouncement rather than a firm prediction, with skepticism about its specificity. Outcome, the housing market crashed in 2008. 2017, Trump claimed that newspapers, televisions, and all forms of media would tank if he was not there in office, because without me, their ratings are going down the tubes. Media's reaction? This was largely dismissed as hyperbolic self-aggrandizement by media outlets, with many arguing their audiences were driven by broader news cycles, not just Trump. Outcome? After Trump left office in January of 21, major news outlets saw significant audience drops. For example, CNN lost 45% of its primetime audience. MSNBC dropped 26%.
Taps Festival at Duncan Park, July 24th through the 26th. Presented by the Hartford Yard Goats. Enjoy live bands, over 20 restaurants featuring signature dishes from local and regional chefs. Also, chef cooking demonstrations. And of course, plenty of tacos, tequila, beer, and so much more. Select from over 100 types of beverages to sample from. For ticket info, visit GoTacosTequilaTaps.com. Don't miss a weekend filled with vibrant culture on the field.
Hey, what's up, flies? This is David Spade.
Dana Carvey.
Look, I know we never actually left, but I'll just say it. We are back with another season of Fly on the Wall.
Every episode, including ones with guests, will now be on video. Every Thursday, you'll hear us and see us chatting with big-name celebrities.
And every Monday, you're stuck with just me and Dana. We react to news, what's trending, viral clips.
Follow and listen to Fly on the Wall everywhere you get your podcasts.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 40-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term life insurance may only cost you about $100 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-770-0850. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance to buy $1 million of affordable term life for you. All you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-770-0850. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-770-0850. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. For affordable term life insurance, call 800-770-0850. 800-770-0850.
And now, a WTIC news update.
79 degrees at 3:30. Won't get much hotter than that. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. Low in the mid-50s tonight. A heat advisory in effect through Friday night. Ozzy Osbourne is dead. The heavy metal legend suffered from Parkinson's disease. He performed just 2 weeks ago at the last concert for Black Sabbath. Ozzy Osbourne was 76. A statement says he was with family when he died. A White House photo op with the leader of the Philippines veered into conspiracy theories. President Trump denied any knowledge of reports the Justice Department is seeking to re-interview Jeffrey Epstein's accomplice in child rape, Ghislaine Maxwell, who's in prison. The president then tried to deflect attention to his claims former President Obama has conspired against him.
Accusing President Obama of treason, of trying to organize a coup against President Trump, and suggesting that he should be tried criminally.
CBS's Nancy Cordes reporting it's unclear what the alleged crime would be. White House officials will tour the under-construction headquarters of the Federal Reserve. They've claimed that Fed Chair Jerome Powell misrepresented changes to the $2.5 billion renovation. There's major impact for Connecticut from the budget bill recently signed by the president. State Comptroller Sean Scanlon has released a special report on the bill. He says up to 200,000 residents will lose their health insurance and many will lose food assistance. He says Connecticut defense contractors could benefit. The state of Massachusetts is giving $1.2 million to the city of Fall River to hire more emergency response personnel. That's after manpower shortages were cited in last week's fire that killed 10 people at an assisted living facility. And Governor Maura Healey is also looking at emergency response across the state.
We launched a statewide fire and life safety initiative. These are steps to ensure that all 273 assisted living facilities in the state are prepared to prevent fires and protect residents during emergencies.
Additional funds will be given to the state's public safety staffing program. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 155, S&P is up 6 points, the NASDAQ is down 55 points. And we check the WTIC forecast.
For the rest of our Tuesday afternoon, sun, some clouds, a pleasant day with low humidity and the high of 81. Partly cloudy tonight, another comfortable night for sleeping with the low down to 56. Sunshine, a few clouds for our Wednesday, a bit warmer with the heat starting to build, the high of 85. Thursday, partly sunny, hot and more humid with the high moving up to 94. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
79 right now. Red Sox in Philadelphia with the pregame at just after 6 on WTIC. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Maker, WTIC 1080 News.
The law firm of Brown, Payne, Dearest & Scott understands that divorce can be intimidating, and the decisions you make today will impact your life forever. Divorce is complicated. There's a lot at stake when considering your future. At Brown, Payne, Dearest & Scott, our team of family attorneys have over 100 years of combined experience and understand every family law case is different. At BPS Lawyers, you get more than a lawyer, you get a full-service law firm. Call us at 860-CALL-BPS or visit bpslawyers.com. Katie Bissonette is responsible for the content of this ad.
Dreaming of a perfect smile? At Columbia Dental, our orthodontic experts specialize in braces and clear aligners like Invisalign. Get the smile you've always dreamed of. Open 7 days a week. Call 860-645-0111 or visit columbiadental.com.
Join us for the first annual Go Tacos Tequila and Taps Festival at Duncan Park, July 24th through the 26th. Presented by the Hartford Yard Goats. Enjoy live bands, more than 20 brands of tequila, and dozens of craft beers, wines, and spirits. For ticket info, visit GoTacosTequilaTaps.com.
Hi, Don Cussin here. With summer travel upon us, before you hit the road, have your car or motorhome checked out by Cussin Automotive. When was the last time your vehicle had a thorough inspection and not just an oil change? Your tires, what condition and how old are they? Your cooling system, what condition are your belts and hoses in? Are your brakes ready for a road trip? What about your engine? Is it running at peak performance? Based on the price of gas, be sure you optimize your fuel mileage. So before you head out, do it right with Cussin Automotive.
Cussin Automotive.
There's nothing like coming home to a nice, cool house, unless it's not. Say, come on into Campbell. Campbell Cooling is all about service 24/7. Campbell's seasoned expert technicians use all major brands, including American Standard and Mitsubishi, to do the job right. So if you're concerned about what condition your conditioner is in, contact Campbell Cooling. Campbell wants to say thank you to all of our military men and women for their service. Veteran-owned and managed. Visit CampbellCooling.com.
Campbell Cooling uses all major name brands, including American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning and Mitsubishi Heating and Cooling Equipment.
Now is the perfect time to start on your next success. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start August 13th. An accredited state university, University of Maryland Global Campus, offers online and hybrid courses. Plus, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits towards a master's. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chevy.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Attention, small business owners. Do you need funding for your business? At lendseek.com, we provide revenue-based working capital programs from $20,000 to $1 million. So whether it's funding for inventory, equipment, expansion, payroll, or other needs, seek no more. All it takes is just one simple application to access over 100 funding products that are powered through our breakthrough AI-enabled lending platform to get you the best options in today's marketplace. If you've been in business for at least 1 year with monthly revenue of at least $50,000, you could receive the business funding you need when it matters most, regardless of your personal credit score. Funds in your account in just 24 hours with no collateral, no prepayment penalties, and no restrictions on how you use the funds. There's no obligation and zero out-of-pocket costs. So apply for the business funding you need today at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
Men, the summer is here. Warmer nights and romance is in the air. Intimate dinners, walks on the beach, dancing in the moonlight. But if you have erectile dysfunction, you know it can ruin romance, both for you and the one you love. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health. And if you have ED, don't let another summer go by without getting treated, because intimacy is one of the greatest things in life. And fear of not being able to perform should not be something you have to deal with. At Northeast Men's Health, we're ED experts. We've successfully treated tens of thousands of men. Our protocols work when others don't, and we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. You could even last up to an hour or more and perform like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, you're... Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956. Or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the Northeast to serve you, including our new office in Warwick, Rhode Island.
Hi, it's Chris Francis, former WTIC news anchor and reporter. Happy birthday, WTIC News Talk 1080.
Thank you, Chris. We appreciate that. Reese on the Radio, WTIC News Talk 1080. Listen to me. This nonsense about changing the narrative is bogus. And when you are tethered, if not married, to the idea that Jeffrey Epstein is some way of thinking you're going to get the retribution you're looking for, yeah, we're going to find out. We're going to find out. I got people in the chat room going, he was on a plane with Jeffrey 7 times. Yep. Where did the planes go? Where'd the flights go? Where'd it go? You don't know? You don't know? Not at all? Oh, okay, you should. How many flights did Bill Clinton go on? Got 7 for Donald Trump. How many was Bill Clinton on? Anyone? 27? Yeah. Okay. All right, well, you know what? If that doesn't tickle your fancy, that's fine. That's quite all right. That's okay. It's no big deal. But see, there's something else in all of this that always makes me laugh.
Thank you, Mr. Leader. House Democrats spent last week trying to force votes to release records related to Jeffrey Epstein, and you have said that you support that movement. Why are Democrats just looking at this and pushing for this right now and not really during the Biden administration?
I support transparency in terms of the American people. The far right, Donald Trump, right-wing conspiracy theorists and others are the ones who have put this Jeffrey Epstein thing in the public domain. Let's be clear about that. No one looking at the facts disputes that.
Did Jeffries just say that it was a conspiracy theory? That the Republicans put out a conspiracy theory? Yeah, that's what he said. What else did he say?
This isn't anything that any of us as House Democrats have been focused on ever.
And because nothing is working, burning Teslas, protesting every weekend, violence against pro-lifers, every stunt that's been pulled out, this is the only one that seems to have some sort of momentum, even though all the rest of those other stories had momentum. The riots in L.A., the confronting ICE officers, these things lasted for more than a week. This one they think has traction. Come on, Dems. You know it. I know it. If you're calling the DNI report a distraction, it's because it's working. There's a reason why it's working. And the reason why it's working is because you remember how important this story was to you. I know I remember. You told us that Hillary Clinton was cheated. There's no way the American people would have elected Donald Trump. Are you kidding me? Not with the Access Hollywood tape. There's no way. This guy he's a cretin. He is the devil incarnate. There's no way the American people voted for this guy. He had to have cheated. It was okay. Hillary Clinton couldn't even concede the night of. She had to wait until the next day to make a public statement. After all those people and revelers were at the Jacob Javits Center. And what did she do? She wrote a book called What Happened? She should have called it What Happened. I would have taken a cut. But nonetheless, You heard it. She went everywhere, and she told everybody that the Russians stole this election.
Russia hacking the election to elect Trump is the end of our democracy. Votes were definitely affected. Russia hacked the election to tilt it to Mr. Trump.
The Russians definitively hacked the election.
Russia did hack the election.
No doubt. The Russians hacked the election.
Yes, Russia hacked the election.
Fact, Russia hacked the election.
President-elect Donald Trump still not sounding convinced that Russia hacked the election.
The president does not want to come to terms with the fact that the Russians hacked the election.
President Trump says he still wonders if the Russians hacked the election.
If you can get him to accept that Russia hacked the election, see if you can get him to accept who won the Civil War.
If he admits it, it casts a shadow on his victory over Hillary Clinton.
Russia hacked the election.
Russia hacked the election.
Russia hacked the election.
Russia hacked the election.
Let's be clear, Russia hacked the election. Definitively, Russia hacked the election, and Russia is doing it again now.
Election-related cyber hacking.
Cyber hacking of U.S. elections. Cyber hacking of the election.
Russia was cyber hacking the election.
Russia was cyber hacking the election.
The CIA, the FBI, NSA.
All of these intelligence organizations,
17 intelligence agencies,
all conclude that Russia hacked the election.
If we find out that Donald Trump just theoretically was colluding with Russia while they were hacking the election, that is completely impeachable.
This dossier alleged a conspiracy between the Trump campaign and the Russian effort to hack the election.
The director of national intelligence, the head of the National Security Agency, the head of the FBI, all of these intelligence experts saying Russia hacked the election.
The FBI, the CIA, the NSA, the former director of national intelligence, James Clapper, I mean, they've all said this. So to believe that that's wrong, you have to believe they're all involved in an elaborate conspiracy to get Donald Trump, which seems a little far-fetched to me.
Oh, it's far-fetched. Chris Salissa, formerly of CNN. You want to hear the funny part? Do you know what they're saying today? This is the quote they're saying today. Nobody ever said the Russians hacked the election. Nobody ever said that. That's the quote they are saying today. No one ever said that Russia hacked the election. Nobody ever said it. You just heard 2 minutes worth of saying exactly that. And what did they hack, ladies and gentlemen? What did they hack? Hacking the election means that voting booths, voting machines, that's what hacking is. No. What they said was, and I'll quote from all of the information, they hacked the DNC and the DNCCC. That's not the election. That's tantamount to a Watergate break-in. They broke into the emails of John Podesta. Where was the influence? In the actual vote count? No. You heard them. They hacked the election. And let's go to the esteemed Jake Tapper, who's now doesn't have anything to add. Doesn't have anything to add about the new reports. And this so-called nonsense that the intelligence community never used the Steele dossier as a means to say that Trump or the Russians hacked the election? Well, somebody seems to forgot that they were actually on tape saying the opposite. Yes, James Clapper. But let's go to the aforementioned sage of news reporting, Jake Tapper, most trusted man in news.
And we're back with breaking news in our politics lead. CNN is now learning that Christopher Steele, the British spy who authored the Trump-Russia dossier, alerted the FBI in July 2016 because he was so concerned then-candidate Donald Trump may have been vulnerable to blackmail. What's your reaction to that?
So we've got a couple of examples now of genuine friends of the United States, members of the Five Eyes Alliance, an Australian ambassador. They followed their conscience and made their concerns known to the appropriate organs of the United States government. That's about as far from a political motivation as you can get.
Oh, there was no political motivation.
Nunes, in his public comments and some of the other comments we've seen, seems to be that the officials in the FBI who were seeking a FISA warrant against Carter Page relied too much on a political document, the Christopher Steele dossier.
No, I don't know that the...
Remember, this argument was that the FBI had used the Steele dossier as the reasons for opening up an investigation into interference by Russians and Donald Trump colluding with them. They tell us today that that had no bearing on their investigation into Donald Trump. James Clapper.
Dossier played in this very much at all. However, some of what was in the dossier was corroborated in our intelligence community assessment with...
Really? It was corroborated? What do we know today, boys and girls? What do we know today? Was anything corroborated in the Steele dossier? No. All of it was made up by a bunch of bozos getting drunk at a bar, making up stories that ended up in the Steele dossier. And there's Clapper saying that, although some of the things that were corroborated in the Steele dossier, which would have made their investigation, you know, those intelligence officials, bupkis.
Which was derived from other sources of information in which we had high confidence.
Donald Trump is still calling this witch hunt, okay?
Yeah. They've caught a few witches, by the way.
They have.
There have been a few witch indictments.
And there you have it, folks. Jake Tapper saying that they caught a few witches. A couple of witches were indicted. That means that an ongoing scheme to defraud the American people about a collusion with Russia still stands. You see, a conspiracy is a conspiracy until it's over. Today, the conspiracy still stands. No one has come forward saying that it was a conspiracy and it was all false. So therefore, it is a crime that still exists. Think, what am I telling you? Statute of limitations are not over.
Giuliani, great lawyer, he has said that the whole investigation at this point has become absurd. It's absurd. Is it absurd?
No.
We broke the story of the existence of the dossier that President Trump had been briefed, and we did not mention any of the contents of the dossier. CNN. But there's the FBI director talking about prostitutes on each other in Moscow. It was almost exactly 2 years ago that CNN reported that President Trump had been briefed on the intelligence community's assessment of Russian interference in the 2016 election, including the existence of the Steele dossier. And despite the president's fierce denial, CNN's chief national security correspondent Jim Sciutto reports that the special counsel's team has already proven some of the claims in that dossier are true.
The conspiracy still exists. The statute of limitations have not moved on. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere. Reese on the Radio, WTIC News Talk 1080.
Hey, Matt Soroyce here. If you're feeling sluggish and wondering how to get out of that summer funk of feeling like you have no energy, maybe the clothes that fit last summer are a little more snug right now, listen, there's a simple solution for you. Awaken 180 Weight Loss is more than just a weight loss program. It is a partnership. And that's because the amazing coaches at Awaken 180 are with you every single step of the way, ensuring that you're dropping pounds every week until you reach your ideal goal weight. With Awaken 180, you're not getting any expensive injections. You're not taking 3 to 5 pills a day. You're simply eating real great food. Awaken 180 is the long-term solution for weight loss, and it's not just a weight loss. Your head's going to be clearer, your body will be healthier, and you'll certainly have more energy. Awaken 180 has helped over 25,000 people lose weight for good, and they can help you too. So give them a call today and make this summer the one where you feel your absolute best. Set up your free consultation today at 844-346-1800, 844-346-1800, or go online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius, or 2 half geniuses, and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Hey, it's E-Filter Trusted Pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're at your next ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/deal. That's leaffilter.com/deal.
It's Reese on the radio. Ask your doctor if common sense is right for you. On News Talk 1080 WTIC.
You want to watch? I love this. This is my favorite thing in the world. So Donald says in the chat room, he says, since when has an election in the last 30 years deemed fair? Like what? Donald, this is how I know. Do you not remember the quote? The 2020 election was the most secure election in history. Do you not remember that quote? Why don't you? When Donald Trump made the claim that the 2020 election was stolen, people from CISA, people in the intelligence community, released a joint statement saying that the results